So first of all, welcome everybody. Welcome to Wasserman Boxing. Great to see so many of you here. Hope you're all well. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate with us today, so we can't be upstairs on the rooftop, but this is a splendid setting in itself. I'm Andy Clark, and next to me in our three-man boy band lineup are two gentlemen who need no introduction. Of course, Kalle and Sauerland, the driving force behind this now not quite so new venture. And the reason that we're here today is to unveil the new stable of signings for Wasserman Boxing. These fighters will be out and in action very, very soon across a number of cards. Some of them you'll already be familiar with, some of the names you'll already know because they were released, the details are divulged in real time. Others you won't, because there are three new signings with us today who will be unveiled before too long. Chris Eubank Jr. Will be joining us last but certainly not least. But before we get to the fighters, let's just have a quick chat, Kalle and Nissa, about this brave new world really that has materialised over the last few months. So I'd be very interested to know, I'm sure everybody else would, how did this grand union between the Sauerland promotional dynasty, I think that's probably the right word for it, and
terminology, but probably an accurate one,
and the global media empire that is Wasserman, how did it come about?
I think first of all I'd like to say give everyone a big welcome. It's so lovely to be sitting here and preaching our lovely sport and actually sitting not in front of a Zoom somewhere and seeing live journalists in the flesh again. I've spoken to all of you during lockdowns and all the athletes here today, so the brave new world has begun. It began in March, formally and officially, but the talk started deep in the first lockdown. Fari Ejved and Dean Baker from Wasserman approached us. We had a round of meetings. Our vision was never really to sell the family business, it was always to expand it. We're probably the only promoters in the world that has grown the business truly globally, not working with one broadcaster, but going into territories and working it bottom up, going in, grafting. If I think about Denmark, Finland, Russia, making domestic deals in those countries, you know, having your local teams in those countries, it's very different to just saying we're going to go put a show on in the country and actually building a division in those countries. And I think we looked at it and said, we've come this far and now we want to take it to that next level, and that next level, if you look at Wasserman, outside of boxing, I mean, we can just say it again, I love saying these words, 100 Premier League players, 40 Premier League winners, 1,200 employees on planet Earth, and I don't know how many offices, I always lose track on that one, but it is such a power behind us that it was an offer that was just simply too good to refuse. And I think that it takes us to that next level. We sat here in March and we announced, and people said, whoa, and what an announcement. And for weeks later, we were still giving interviews on this announcement, and I'm like thinking, right, okay, we've announced, okay, that's fantastic. What are we doing now? And of course, there was always a master plan in it. I think the first chapter, you can see here today, the first 6 months. And by the way, we're just talking about the UK talent today. I'm not talking about Myris Breedis, who'll be boxing the World Boxing Super Series winner, the IBF World Champion, who's boxing next month in Latvia. Filip Hrgovic, who's going to be boxing the final eliminator for the heavyweight championship of the world later this year. So we are concentrating today very much on the UK side of operations, all the German talent we have. We're not going to talk too much about them today, but they've got big things planned in Germany coming up. Actually, a deal was just about to be signed there, which will allow us to promote 4 events in a very short space of time to really drive Germany back up. We all know Germany needs that world champion, but we are here today to talk about the UK market. And you know, we signed Chris in January. I think January the 1st is actually on the contract, and it was a step into to some degree for both of us into the unknown. Although we worked with Chris during the World Boxing Super Series and had a fantastic time together, but it really launched already what was coming. And now you've seen, you know, the likes of the up and comers. You've seen, you know, you're going to see some more names that, let's say, have been on the top of Sky Sports or BT Sports bills before. You're going to see them announced today, and of course Eubank Junior. And once again, Chapter 1, we are 6 months in. We're not even an event in the UK, so it's just about to get started.
And this is the UK market is, I mean, it's in a fascinating place at the minute. Probably the most interesting period that I can remember over the last few years in terms of promotions, in terms of media, in terms of broadcast. There seems to be something announced, something going on almost every day. And as the saying goes, times of great change, at times of great opportunity. There's a space here, isn't there, that can be inhabited.
Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be here. Just like my brother said, it's great to see everyone back. Nice to be shaking hands with people again. Yeah, I mean, English boxing, I think it was the 2012 Olympics when AJ got the gold. I think since then, British boxing has been on an absolute high. You've got Anthony Joshua next week against Usyk, massive stadium show. I mean, if I look at it, before 2012, I don't think a stadium show would have been mentioned, let alone sort of become almost a regular occurrence since the man George Groves sold out Wembley Stadium, standing just over there. I think British boxing has become the pinnacle in the world. It's bigger than America now. It's bigger than everywhere, and we're just happy, having grown up in the UK, to be a part of it and to give it our best shot at doing some really great shows.
Okay, so let's meet some of the fighters. So first up, we will get up Chloe Watson, Hosea Stewart, if he's looking out in the back there somewhere. Brad as well. Brad Pauls, if you're around, and Martin Potter as well. So this is going to require a little bit of mic sharing. So Chloe, we'll start with you, and you're a very accomplished amateur, won a gold medal at the Youth Commonwealth Games, you're on that GB setup, got to an elite senior final in 2019. You've had a little bit of a break since then. How did this all happen for you?
Just the right opportunity at the right time, really. I always work hard, so I'm always in the gym. Like you said, last year I took a year out and it just worked well for me. I just feel like everything always works well, and I just go with it. And right now, I'm ready. I'm ready to turn pro, and I'm ready to show everyone who Chloe Watson is.
And as well as having these guys behind you, you're training with Ricky Hatton as well up in Manchester, staying there during the week. You're making preparations at the moment. How's that relationship coming along?
Amazing, yeah. I'm just learning so much, and that's just what I set out to do. Like at the start of the year, I just wanted to learn, and that's what I'm doing.
An operation like yours has always got its tentacles everywhere in terms of looking for emerging talent, particularly from the amateurs. I see Tom at international competitions lurking left, right, and centre. So how did you hit upon Chloe as a fighter you wanted?
I mean, that's mostly my brother and Tom's role and the other network of agents we have. I'll just say something a little bit about Chloe. When I saw material landed on my desk for Chloe, I've never met Chloe till today, and the female boxing is in a place which it's never been before, and we have a history going back to Cecilia Brækhus, who we took from a lady from Norway to become the unified champion of the world. Her first world title was actually on a Mikkel Kessler undercard, and you'd struggle to get more than 300 people in that 20,000 seater to be at that fight, and it was sad in a way, but it was a mission we went on, and she ended up being a pay-per-view star in Norway and headlining shows in the US and God knows where else, and it's just shown the level that female boxing has come to. And I'm obviously the chief boxing officer at the World Boxing Super Series as well. We were very proud and are very proud to be now doing the first ever WBSS in the female, so you see the level of the sport. So for me it's such a natural, and you know, that part I talk about from the commercial side. I'll let my brother talk about it from the boxing side.
You know, I never really have much to add to my brother, but yeah, I mean, I saw Chloe and I thought, wow, we've got to sign her. Speaks very well, friends with Ricky obviously, and you know, I believe you won the Commonwealth Gold back in, was it 2019?
2017.
It's 2017, okay. And you know, that's a great accomplishment, and it's, you know, weight class is very strong, and there's a lot of good opportunities there as well. And I think at the moment, like my brother says, female boxing is on fire, and you know, we want to take Chloe to the top.
Yeah, and I'd just like to thank you for that as well and giving me this opportunity, because I'm just so excited to get the ball rolling and get out there.
Okay, so Brad, we'll move on to Brad Paul's undefeated middleweight, former Southern Area champion. We were chatting a little bit ago before we got started, and you did say that you went up to the attic and for the first time in a while dusted off the gladiator helmet that you put on to come to the ring, and you've been out for a while, as have lots of people. You must be itching to get back in.
Yeah, it's 2 years since the last time I boxed. There's a long time out of the ring, but it's not time out of the gym. I feel like that time I used to my best ability, stayed in the gym. The gladiator helmet got loads of dust on it, all the fight kits, I got loads of dust on it, but I'm just happy to be here and happy to be fighting again. It's been tough for the people on the small hall who have not been fighting on TV, I've just been waiting for the right opportunity. So thank you for the chance, I'll do you proud, and yeah, it's going to be exciting, I promise you.
And Jack, something that Brad's definitely got in his favour, as well as being, you know, a good fighter to watch, a crowd-pleasing style, and there's obviously ability there, is that he's got a real good solid fan base. He draws support from Cornwall, from Southampton, from Essex, even from Liverpool, and these are the kinds of fighters that are important, aren't they? They've got that overall package.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's dusting off the gladiator's helmet says it all for me. You know, he understands the business side of things as well. It's also marketing, boxing, but you know, it's also the style. And I looked at the tapes of Brad, and I said, no-brainer. It's someone who brings it to the ring, and you can be a great salesman outside the ring and do a lot of tickets, but you've got to deliver. You know, people want to see action. Middleweight is a weight class we've historically done a lot of fights in, and worked with a lot of world champions at middleweight, and he's someone that we believe, you know, he's got to have to go through that domestic. You know, the UK is great to promote because you have that measuring stick. For example, in Germany you don't have that domestic type, you don't have that British belt here where you know already then at the British belt stage it's that measuring stick, and you know, go through that level, and then you know what's next, and it's often, you know, that's the real measuring stick in British boxing. You don't have that in a lot of other markets, so that's fantastic. There's some great fights to make it his way. He can bang, he's a middleweight, he comes in a gladiator's helmet. What more do you want? You know?
Stablemates as well, trained to align as Udofia, who was just trying to put him off at the back there a few minutes ago. I saw that. I see everything. So Hosea Stewart, we'll move on to you, and you're awaiting your professional debut as well, same as Chloe, same as Matty Harris, who we'll speak to in a little while. Just give us a flavour of your journey so far, because you achieved a good amount as an amateur. You were a GB champion. You decided to turn over rather than stick with the amateur code. How fundamental were these two and Wasserman in persuading you that now was the right time?
Yeah, well, I've had it in my head for quite a while now that my next step was turning professional. When I had a meeting with these, and I heard about what Wasserman's doing for the future, their plans and endeavours, you know, their track record speaks for itself for the heavyweights. So, you know, why not get on board? The people that got on board as well, all the other fighters are buzzing, everyone's hungry. So why not be a part of that journey, and I just want to start mine now.
And you've had some high-level sparring. You were regular sparring partner for Anthony Joshua ahead of his fight with Kubrat Pulev.
Yeah.
How did you find that?
Oh, it was brilliant, man. Good experience, you know, priceless experience. Good to be around AJ himself, everyone that he had in camp. You know, you just take that experience on board and just add it to my own game.
So Nissa, how did you hit on Hosea? How did that come about?
I know Mick, Hosea's manager, very well, and he sent me some videos of him. I met him, I said, wow, he's massive, got to sign him. No. You know, he can fight. I think he'll be more than suited to the pro game, more than the amateur game. There's some guys that I wouldn't recommend to turn pro straight away, and I think they can develop. I think Jose will develop in the professionals, even quicker, even faster. He's a big puncher, and he's got a bright future.
Well, looking forward to seeing you in action before too long. And on to the end there, Martin. Welcome, Martin Voru. Based in London these days, boxing out of Holland, and I think you're the only one here actually. You've already made your Wasserman debut because you boxed in Austria last Friday. How did it go? How was that?
And in Denmark. I mean, I fought twice on the Wasserman show, and it was great. Yeah.
So how did this relationship start? How do you know these two?
I don't even know. No, I was with Wasserman before. Yeah, before they came, and then they merged. Yeah.
So in terms of your boxing background, you're 4-0 as a pro. Did you box much as an amateur?
I had 26 amateur fights. Yeah. So I was born and raised in the Netherlands, where I fought maybe half my fights, so about 13, 14, and then when I came here, I boxed London ABAs, Nationals, Harrogate Box Club.
So what was it about Martin that a little while ago compared to some of the others that caught your attention?
Well, it's funny the way Martin answered it. I never met Martin until the weigh-in on Friday, standing in an Austrian town square in front of the scales. I said, you know me? I said, yeah, I know who you are. Yeah. And we introduced each other. So Martin is one of the existing Wasserman management clients that's come over to the stable. Look, the first time I saw him on Friday night in the ring, but he is, what people don't know, is a superstar in his own country, outside of boxing. So he was a contestant or the winner of Paradise Island. I don't know if that's the equivalent of Towie or Love Island here. So in Denmark, what are you saying? In Holland, he's already got that part to it. But after Friday night, I can tell you, he can certainly box as well. He's definitely something which we were talking about on Friday. One country out of all the many different countries we promoted in, we've never promoted in Holland. Holland has always been a traditional K1 kickboxing MMA market, and he's someone that we believe is a man that can lead the quest to start doing some shows in Holland, which I think is a market that we'd love to be in. To be honest, there's not many great talents over the years that have come out of Holland. I can see Jeff really racking the brain there, thinking back the years, or Ron, we've signed a few over the years. Danny Vass, Nordin, fighting Nordin. But I'm going back 20 years now. There hasn't really been that progression in Dutch boxing, and Martin with his let's say out of the ring sort of platform, is something that we're obviously looking at that market now, and it's something that it's a space to watch.
Well, it certainly all helps. Drumming up that publicity is an absolutely key part of being a pro fighter. So thanks very much. Thanks very much, you four. Thanks very much for sparing the time. We'll let you go.